Okay, we're going to graph a parabola in vertex form. So what I want to do is make some slider bars to start. So go to slider bar, and then I just click in the white space. I'm going to use A, and I'm okay with all of these values. Minimum -5, max 5, increment of 1.1, and another slider bar. I'm going to call this one H, and I guess I'm okay with that. I'm going to go with increment of 1. Maybe we'll go -10 to 10. Okay, and let's call this one K. So H and K. And we'll go -10 to 10 on this one as well, with an increment of 1. Okay, so I have my slider bars in. I'm ready to make my function. I go to the input bar, and I type in f of x equals, and I'm going to do A times the quantity, so I use parentheses, and I say x minus h. So my vertex is going to be at the x coordinate h, for h, whatever that is. Right now it's at 1. And then it's going to be squared and plus k. So that is my vertex form, and I go ahead and hit enter, and it will graph. Okay, so right now this is my function. I could do a little text box here to show you how it looks. Okay, there it is. So my function value right now, A is 1, my H is 1, and my K is 1. And that's how the graph looks. Now I want to put a point. I'm going to put a point A, but I'm going to put it in the input bar. That point A is going to be equal to H comma K. And it should, when I hit enter, pop up right at the vertex of the parabola. And you see it right there. So I'm going to change the label to tell me the value. Show label value. Okay. And you can see it's at 1, 1. Now I'm going to go ahead and change these values and see what happens to the graph. So if I change my A value, looks like the more I go up, the steeper the curve is. Right? But if I zoom in, it still looks like this, like the same curve when I had it at 1 and I was zoomed out, right? So it looks the same, you just have to think about the scale. The H value, what happens when I go up with that? Okay, that just changes the X value, right? So it turns to X minus 7, but that's just changing my 0 point, right? If H is at 0, I am right on the axis, so it just turns into X squared. And you see that right now it's plus 1, so its value is increased by 1. So that's my K value. And if I go to 0 there, you can see it turns my function into just the simple f of x equals x squared. So as I change h, it increases that value and moves it to the right. When I change my h down, when it turns negative, it actually looks like a positive here, but remember this is x minus h, and when it's minus a minus 3, it becomes a positive 3. Just two negatives make a positive right there. So even though it says positive 3 there, the location on the graph is a -3, so you have to be careful with that. The k value, though, when I go negative with k, it drops it down. It's just decreasing the function value by 2 in this case, right? So you can see that my h and k, just move it around, shift it, and my a value makes it steeper. But what happens when I go to 0? When I go to 0, it turns it into a line, right? Because 0 times anything is 0, and drops it out, and then you just get f of x equals 2. And what happens when I go negative? Well, it just turns it upside down, just like we did before. So that's the vertex form of the parabola. And you can see that a values that are negative make it go down, a values that are positive make it go up. The H and K tell you where the vertex is at. Simple as that. So you're going to make your own and send that over to your teacher.